Few high school students can claim to have elevated the festive classic, Blue Christmas, to new heights, but Max Chambers is not your average 14-year-old, as he demonstrated during his dominant reign on season 28. Chambers' explosive sound and captivating stage presence made him a season 28 frontrunner from the time he won over coach Michael Bublé during the blinds. Even though Chambers finished 5th in the live finals, his duet of Blue Christmas with his coach, Bublé, a renowned Christmas king, delighted audiences everywhere. With each mournful stanza, Bublé and Chambers' vocals were able to shine in this jazzy reinterpretation, captivating the audience with their calming serenade. The famous ballad was given a delightful sense of optimism by Chambers and Bublé, particularly as they ended it with a huge belt that sent the audience into a frenzy. Bublé was enthralled with Chambers' thrilling performance before the band had even finished, encouraging him as the crowd erupted in cheers. Social media was ablaze with praise for Chambers' amazing performance with his coach, as fans praised the up-and-coming artist for successfully appropriating Presley's classic song. It's hard to hear this song without hearing the voice of Elvis, but Max is so different that he transcends the memory, said a fan. That young man was amazing, such a star. Originally recorded in 1948 by country music artist Doy Odell, Blue Christmas was written by Billy Hayes and J. W. Johnson. It was later made famous in 1957 by Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll, as a standout on his holiday LP, Elvis Christmas Album. Thanks to Presley's melancholic vocals and the explosive backing vocals of the well-known vocal quartet, the Jordanaires, his reworking of the holiday single became a holiday classic. Even though Presley's Blue Christmas is still a timeless success, other charting musicians like John Bon Jovi, Billy Idol, Misfits, She and Him, and Sheryl Crow have covered the song multiple times. Even a captivating duet of Blue Christmas by well-known Italian tenor Andrea Bocelli and country queen Reba McEntire gave listeners chills. Naturally, Michael Bublé performed the song as well for his Christmas holiday album from 2011. Voices usually seem to have a little more weight during the Christmas season. Perhaps more than any other genre, holiday music requires authenticity. It challenges singers to slow down, experience intense emotion, and connect with the meaning of each word as well as the melody. Because of this, it felt more like a passing of the torch than a performance when 14-year-old Max Chambers joined Michael Bublé on stage to sing Elvis Presley's Blue Christmas. It was obvious from the opening note that this was no novelty duet. Max Chambers lived inside the song, not at it, and that in and of itself was remarkable for a teenager standing next to one of the most well-known contemporary crooners. A song rich in tradition, Blue Christmas by Elvis Presley, isn't your typical holiday song. This song, which is an emotional contradiction wrapped in Christmas bells, is filled with longing, nostalgia, and silent heartbreak. Few artists have been able to capture its melancholic enchantment without coming across as copycats. That's why Max Chambers' performance was so impressive. He didn't make an effort to sound like Elvis. He also made no attempt to imitate Michael Bublé. Rather, he infused a song that requires emotional maturity with his own voice, which is clear and youthful but surprisingly full of passion. Michael Bublé, who was standing next to him, appeared to understand right away that now was not the time to be in charge. It was an opportunity to show support. Max Chambers. Massive presence. Small frame Max Chambers doesn't conform to the stereotype of a powerful vocalist at the age of 14. Booming arrogance and dramatic overreach are absent. Instead, he contributes phrase, control, and an emotional instinct that seems well above his years. The environment appeared to change when he sang the first few lines of Blue Christmas. There was a slight ache in his voice, but it was grounded. It wasn't just melancholy for the sake of sadness. It was a narrative. Promising vocalists are distinguished from memorable ones by their capacity to convince listeners of the truth of every word. Max didn't sing the song in a student-like manner. He sung it as though he simultaneously comprehended hope, memory, and sorrow. The role of Michael Bublé, not a spotlight thief but a mentor Christmas music, has become the foundation of Michael Bublé's entire holiday enterprise. He has a warm, professional, and instantly identifiable voice, but he was remarkably restrained in this duet. Bublé built his harmonies around Max Chambers' voice rather than dominating it. Many would expect a seasoned performer to command emotional moments, so he lowered his voice, leaned into nuanced wording, and let Max take the lead. It was musical mentoring. The contrast between youth and experience, fragility and confidence, innocence and understanding, was striking when their voices mingled together. Bublé elevated Max, not merely sang with him. A timeless moment, this performance's ageless quality was what caused it to have such a profound impact. It didn't seem fashionable. It didn't seem like it was designed to become viral. It had the feel of something that viewers would have seen on a bright TV decades ago, while curled up with blankets and listening to the music. The voice of Max Chambers possessed the unique power to slow down time. Every line fell smoothly and without hurry. Every pause seemed deliberate. Silence carried weight as well. It became evident by the last chorus that this was more than a cute duet with a young vocalist. It was a genuine musical moment that both paid tribute to Elvis Presley's past and produced something completely original. The reaction of the audience. Silent awe instead of thunderous cheers in the middle of the song, the audience reacted with silence. Silence like that is profound and uncommon. It indicates that individuals are paying attention and aren't distracted, scrolling, or waiting for a big notice. The applause came as a release rather than a noise as the last note faded. The response was mirrored online by viewers at home, who described Max Chambers as chilling, unreal, and a once-in-a-generation voice. Many said they couldn't believe someone so young could portray such depth of feeling without strain or embellishment. Why Blue Christmas was the ideal option. It might have backfired to pick Blue Christmas for a 14-year-old. The emotional complexity of loneliness at a season that is characterized by togetherness is the song's foundation. But Max Chambers might have succeeded because of that disparity. Hearing those lyrics spoken by a young voice has a hauntingly honest quality. It serves as a reminder that melancholy is a universal emotion. Even young people can have such desire. And when that song is sung honestly, it transcends time. Max didn't make an effort to sound older. He performed as himself, and that genuineness was crucial. A future star, such performances are not the result of chance. They show promise that can only be nurtured rather than taught. Many artists don't develop the emotional intelligence, stage awareness, and vocal discipline that Max Chambers exhibited until they are adults. Not only did he sing beautifully, but that was the main takeaway. It was that he knew when to hold back on singing loudly. He allowed the song to breathe. He had faith in the tune. He admired the narrative. Rare are those instincts. What will Max Chambers do next? Max Chambers' future may go well beyond vacation stages if this performance is any indication. His voice already exudes the emotional authenticity that fans seek, regardless of whether he chooses to sing jazz, pop, soul, or historical classics. In addition to being kind, Michael Bublé's choice to share the limelight with him was telling. Authenticity is instantly recognized by artists of Bublé's caliber. And it was obvious that he saw something unique. One day, people might recall this duet as the occasion when they say, "That's when we first saw Max Chambers." A Christmas memory that will live on every year. Holiday concerts come and go. By January, many are forgotten. Sometimes, though, a moment remains because it feels genuine, natural, and profoundly human. One of those moments was when Max Chambers and Michael Bublé sang Blue Christmas. It served as a reminder that artistry is not determined by age. Sincerity is preferable to show. Additionally, the strongest voices can occasionally be heard in the most unlikely places.